Richard Wiley is a commissioner of the Federal Communications Commission, and this is the board, governmental board, that has general supervision of broadcasting, radio and TV. They're not censors because we don't have that kind of a government, but there are regulations because there's only room physically for so many broadcast operations.
That's right.
How do you classify yourself? Do you take a strong interest, or do you watch TV a great deal, Commissioner?
Oh, yes, I'm a viewer of it. I think to regulate it, you have to understand the industry, and part of the industry, of course, is what appears on that screen. And that's the ultimate test, I suppose, of what the American people are getting out of the broadcast system of this country. And so I watch it when I can. Unfortunately, there's a lot of reading of regulations, and it keeps me from the screen more than I'd like to be.
What kind of a job do you think American broadcasters are doing?
Well, generally, I think our system, for all of its alleged faults and for all the rhetoric you hear sometimes, is still probably unparalleled in this world as far as providing maximum service to the maximum number of citizens. I think the American people are, by and large, the best informed citizenry in the world, and I think broadcasting has played an important role in that.
Now, this community is embarking on what some other communities already have, and that's cable television. That is, they will rent it or pay for it in some way, and they'll get a choice other than the free TV such as they see here. Is this the wave of the future?
Well, I think there's no doubt that cable is going to take its place along with the existing communications media. I think our whole policy, Milt, has been directed toward assimilating this new technology and with the existing over-the-air service, and not in a sense of supplanting it. Now, cable has the advantage of having more diversification of channel capacity, and therefore may be able to provide what I like to regard as narrowcasting, where of course we're talking about broadcasting, narrowcasting being an appeal to more narrow tastes. And because if you had 30 channels, you could say put a channel on for people who like Little League Baseball or opera, whereas in broadcasting you after all have to go after the mass audience, and that I think obviously makes a difference as to the kind of programming you present.
All right, how grown up do you think the American public is? Now, every once in a while, a network like CBS will show in closed circuit. For instance, I'm thinking of Sticks and Bones, a very horrendous picture of a play by David Rave showing a returned, badly wounded and damaged Vietnam veteran who ultimately does away with himself. Some people thought it was very honest, but extremely violent. And some people say, no, don't do it. Others say, we're grown up, let us make the choice, show us anything, and let us as adults decide whether we want to switch the button or not.
Well, of course, our whole system of broadcasting is premised on individual licensee discretion. And I think that's for the manager of WHAS to make that decision as far as the people of Louisville. He has, our theory is that he has ascertained the needs and interests of the people. He is on top of what the tenor of the feeling is here in Louisville, and he should make that decision. And I quite agree with your opening comment that the FCC does not look at itself as a censors, and we are specifically prohibited from that role by the Communications Act, and I think that's wise, because this is a big country. The views of various parts of the country differ geographically and by sector, and I think that's good. Diversity is good.
Should broadcasters have the same rights as newspapers, such as magazines, in columns of comment and analysis and commentary?
Well, I think there's no doubt that the Commission is trying to promote the free expression of controversial views on television, that you should have a robust, wide-open debate on public issues. However, I think that because of the scarcity argument that we talked about at the start, obviously television, radio outlets, as opposed to the newspapers, have to be all things to all people. They have to provide a balanced treatment on issues. And therein lies the difference between you and the print media, and I think it will always be.
Thank you very much.
Nice to be with you, Milton.
Our guest this morning has been Federal Communications Commissioner Richard Wiley. To him, many thanks. We'll be back with more of Omelette in just a minute.